Year 2000 BMW M5. You will notice this one's on a private plate, T11EBY. That is in the process of being removed. It will be back on a standard 2000 specific plate. If you check the description, we will put that in there when we get that later today. This one is a one previous owner car. It was bought by the current owner, I believe in 2005. Again, we'll double check exactly the year on that. But he bought it from the original owner. He's had the car 20 years. He's finally decided to let it go because he's going to upgrade it to a new M5. But yeah, very, very unusual. Normally they're on about 15 owners by now, covered in nasty modifications and all that sort of stuff. But this one is a bone stock, one previous owner. There is a huge box of history to go with it, which we'll detail in the description. We're going to start by having a good look at the bodywork, then we're going to move on to the interior, and then we're going to go for a cold engine startup. We parked here a couple hours ago. It's stone cold, proper cold engine startup. Starting on the driver's side, if we look down this side, you can see it's lovely and straight all the way down there. You can see that body line that goes along through the handles is lovely and crisp all the way up. It's not full of ripples or dents. It's not had any nasty paint jobs or anything like that. Driver's front wing, we've got a couple of tiny stone chips just down the bottom there. The rest of the wing is lovely and neat all the way around. Arch itself is clean all the way around. Again, normally you can see a little bit of rust poking through the where the trim meets the arch liner meets the wing itself, but this one's lovely and clean. It is on the correct spec E39 M5 wheels in the correct shadow chrome colour as well, and they are in lovely condition all the way around. It's worth pointing out the car lived, or has spent 20 years in an area called Gosford near here. Very tree lined, very leafy, so the paintwork is quite swirly. It would be desperate for a polish. You've got the usual sort of tree sap and bird poo marks in there. I'd really like whoever polishes this to send me a picture of it, because it's going to come up. If you look at an area like that, which we've given a quick wipe over, which is lovely and deep, the whole car looks like it'll come up like that beautifully. But I would like to see it. Coming up the A-pillar, there's no sign of any stone chips on there, all nice and tidy up there. No delamination at the top or the bottom of the screen in the usual places. Up onto the roof, and again, a couple of bird poo marks along there, but there's no corrosion coming through on this side of the windscreen. We'll check the other side as we go around. There's a couple of stone chips there, 1, 2. And a couple of little marks from things like tree sap and lacquer, like we said. But again, huge difference with a proper polish that'll make. It does have, and they've been on for 20 years, quite dark aftermarket privacy glass. Just peel that off if you don't want it, dead easy. Nice and clean around the wing mirror, and again, normally this area bubbles up and goes horrible, but this one is lovely and clean. Same with the black trim. So the M car's got the black trim instead of the chrome trim. Normally that can go milky and horrible. This one is lovely and tidy. Same goes for the actual door pillars themselves. No real marks to whinge about, really nothing major. There's a slight scuff on the plastic that sort of goes onto the paint there. It does feel like it'll come off the paint, which will make a big difference. And then we've got one little parking scratch just there. Going along the sill, that's all nice and clean along there. Another little parking scratch there, and another little one on the door there. Rear door itself, generally very good. There's a little mark just there. And another one just there. I am being quite picky. It is a 25-year-old black car. On this rear arch, that's again lovely and sharp all the way around. Normally you get some corrosion coming through here and some corrosion coming through there, but this one is clean and tidy all the way around. Another good wheel and tyre, and again, those wheels, like I said, are unmarked. They're in lovely condition. The badges are good. Normally they've failed by now. And then if we look back up this side, lovely and straight all the way up, not ripply, not full of dents or anything like that. You want to check these seams down the bottom here. These are nice and clean and tidy on both sides of the car. Tail lights are bright and clear as well. Exhausts sit nice and level. They would benefit from a proper polish, but other than that, they're all good. Bumper corners on both sides are clean and scratch free. We do have a little bubble in the paint just there, which is actually quite a common spot on these. And then up onto the boot lid, same story. It's covered in sort of tree sap marks and things like that. I really would like to see it polished. No delamination from the rear screen. The tint has creased ever so slightly there, and it's done what it usually does when you put tint over a heated screen. It sort of ripples a little bit, but again, just peel that off. It'll make a huge difference. Round on the passenger side, and again, lovely and straight all the way down. You've got to look at that body line. Look how crisp it is all the way up. It's all good along there. Nice and tidy in this area here where it usually bubbles up. The rest of the arch, we've got one tiny little bubble there. Hasn't broken the paint, but it is there. The rest of it's all good. Down at the bottom there, that's nice and tidy. And another good wheel and unmarked wheel and good tyre. Coming up onto the roof from this side again, there's a little mark in the paint just there. You can see things like a bird poo mark just there. Another mark just there. And then leading edge, we've got a bit of a stain in the lacquer just there. A stone chip there, another one there. Coming down the A-pillar, that's all good along there. And the wing mirror, again, nice and tidy. A couple of minor scratches from parkings, sort of scratches, scrapes, things like that, but very, very minor there. And another stone chip down the bottom there, underneath the trim line. And then forward on the front wing, really nice and tidy on the wing. No sign of any corrosion coming through around there. And your final unmarked wheel. Coming round on the front, and then usually the headlights are lovely and clear on both sides. It still has its chrome grills, it hasn't been blacked out or anything nasty like that. The fog lights, which again normally fog up and go horrible, they're lovely. All the plastics are nice and dark, they're not caked in back to black or anything like that. Stone chip wise on the bonnet, we've got 1, 2, and a couple of tiny minor ones. But as you can see, the bonnet's the best example of the sort of slightly haziness that a polish would certainly fix. But there is no ripples or dents or anything like that. Going on to the interior, they sort of can be a bit hit and miss with a sort of late 90s, early 2000s BMW, but this one's got the nicer trim, I'd say. It's got aluminium trim, two-tone black and darker grey leather, which actually is in lovely condition. A good detail and scrub would make a big difference. The grey you'll find is a little bit grubby because it's got that textured leather, but wear-wise, very, very good for the age and the mileage on the bolster. Bolsters are all nice and firm. None of them have collapsed. All the stitching's good. Carpet set's still lovely and black. There is a little bit of wear on the steering wheel, as you'd expect. Mileage, we are on 133,941, so 133,000 miles. All nice and tidy on the centre console. We'll show you that on when we've got the engine running, just to show you that there's no pixels missing. No signs of any wear on the gear gate. A little bit of wear across the gear stick itself. We'll go up and have a look at the headlining. The headlining is lovely and clean. Obviously a black headlining in an M car. All nice and tidy. This is a good example. So if you look at how clean the leather is there, that's how clean we should be able to get the rest of it with a good scrub. But again, more importantly, there's no snags, there's no tears, it's not collapsed in any places, there's no nasty rips. The backs of the seats are lovely. If you enjoy giving a car a proper clean back up, this is definitely the car for you. Onto the boot, and again, actually for a 90s grey BMW, or grey carpet, sorry, that is generally pretty good. Not too nasty in there. And then under here, you've got your correct battery cover and everything, and your tyre replacement and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, you don't get a spare wheel in one of these. Rear passenger side, lovely and neat on the door card. No signs of any real wear there at all. All the door shuts are nice, lovely and clean on that back seat there. Nice and neat all the way across. Pull that armrest down, have a good look in there again. Nice and soft in there. Backs of the seats on that side are good as well. And then front passenger side, again, lovely and neat on the door card. All the trim's nice and neat, as is the one down the dash. Very good on the driver's passenger bolster on both sides. There's no real wear at all to it. Have another look at the dash from this side. We'll pull the bonnet from the other side, because I should have done that while I was there. It's been a long day today, to be fair. We'll have a look at that engine. 4.9 litre, naturally aspirated V8. All the torque and power in the world. There we go. And again, like I say, one previous owner. We've known, in fact, actually the current owner knew the car from brand new as well. All nice and tidy in there, nothing at all to whinge about. It's been parked here for a few hours, like we're saying. It's not dropping any fluid on the floor. Nothing at all to whinge about in there. And again, we'll start it up, check for warning lights, all that sort of stuff. Fires up on the button, lovely V8 growl. Ticking over nice and happy. Nothing nasty coming out of the back. We'll check for warning lights. Again, one of the nice things to see on these is those M clocks with the warm-up dial, so it's giving you a suggested red line until it gets up to temperature. It won't go all the way around the full ambers to 4 because it's cold in here, like warm outside today, but you can see water temperature's Nice and cold, no warning lights on, no pixels missing from the nav unit, and none missing from the heated controls either, which again is rare in itself. So there you have it. Year 2000 BMW E39 M5. Don't forget that plate doesn't come with it. Check the description, we'll detail everything we know as far as service history, where it's been. But like I say, one previous owner, desperate for a polish, but other than that, a really, really nice example. Any more questions, please get in touch. Thank you.